means to grow. And according to WHO, it is divided into two different terms, teenage and adolescence. We use it interchangeably, but teenage is 13 to 19 years and adolescence is 10 to 19 years. Short demographic profile. India is the largest populated country having largest number of adolescents. 22% of our population falls into this age group, and they are the most powerful resources. You would be remembering Swami Vivekanand has said, give me 100 youths and I will change the future of a country. And same way this ISIS terrorists, they are brainwashing the teenagers. So two extremes they can take, and these are the most powerful resources. And this is the second and last chance to grow. Infancy is the first chance from 3 kg to 10 kg, and this is the second and last chance to grow, both physically and mentally. Neither a grown up child nor a miniature adult. We always treat, mothers especially, હવે મોટો થયો, હવે કંઈક સમજ. And when there is something to take decision, તને કંઈ ખબર ના પડે. He is always confused what I am, and it is a different entity because of disproportionate growth and development. There is disproportion. A 12-year-old girl having some physical changes doesn't mean that her brain is growing in proportion to those physical changes. So it is disproportionate. Physical, sexual, mental and even emotional changes. Growth and development. I just want to talk about this because we all have the potential to grow. Every seed has the potential to grow into a plant. So all the children, given proper nutrition, they will grow up in height and weight. But what about the development? Development is a very subtle process, including not only the physical growth but the continuous learning process, continuous experience gaining and living a better future life. So we are concerned with the development also, not just the physical growth. Shortly, I'll just depict the changes. It is like a revision of what we are already knowing. Physical changes, the puberty in the girls start 2 years earlier than the boys. First sign in the girl, it is breast development, and in the boy, testis enlargement. Physical signs in the girls, they progress from breast bud, then pubic hair, then there is a physical growth, peak height gain is there, then menarche, and then feminine deposition of fat. So this is the sequence in which a girl grows. If there is any discoordination in this sequence, we should be alert about some hormonal problems. A well-nourished girl, puberty can start as early as 8 years, and this we see today in most of the high-class societies. And if there is no breast bud development by 12 years and no menarche by 16 years, this is the red flag sign. In boys, the puberty starts with the growth of the testis. There is enlargement of the scrotum and increased rugosity of the scrotum. Then there is penile growth. Then nocturnal emissions. It starts, peak height gain occurs. After that, there is development of facial hair, voice changes and muscle bulk gain. Boys, the puberty starts by 10 years of age, and if there is no signs of any growth in the testis by 13 years, this is the red flag sign. Now what are the psychological changes? This will just help to enter into their minds, and we will be able to differentiate the normal versus the abnormal behavior of adolescence. I have tried to put it into early, mid and late adolescence for a better understanding. There is no clear-cut demarcation that this change will start at 14 years, but it goes in this progression. So some child changes may be earlier or later. There is beginning of puberty at 10 years, curiosity about the opposite sex. All of a sudden they start talking, boys start talking about girls, they see the pictures in the newspaper and magazines, they show the interest. Concrete thinking is there. So mostly the struggle between the mother and the child at this age is about the planning. Exams are there after 1 week, you haven't done anything. Mother knows that he needs to revise this syllabus twice, but the boy doesn't know. He is not aware how much time he has to put in, he is not aware about the planning. So they are in the concrete thinking, and they always feel on stage. All the people are looking at me. Is my hairstyle proper? Is my nose proper? My skin color is proper? And there is struggle for independence. Don't advise me. Let me do what I want. This struggle starts. Usually they move around in the same sex peers. Means boys have a large group of friends who are boys and girls have a large group of friends who are girls. And idol worship. Kareena matlab Kareena. Everything, hairstyle, eating habits and everything the girl want to copy Kareena. Maybe the idol changes. After 6 months somebody else is there. But till that time she is completely into that roop of Kareena. 14 to 16 years, there is the child becomes self-centered. From that on-stage appearance, he becomes aware of himself that I am like this and starts accepting his body image. And abstract thinking develops. This is very important. Usually at this age, he learns to plan that my exams are there after 2 weeks. I need to start the syllabus from now. Every day I need to put in this many hours. So we can understand from the age of the child that the struggle for planning is present in this child, and again he will learn that planning method after some years. So we can reassure the parents that don't worry, he is in this phase, and again after 2 to 3 years he will start becoming mature. The body image concerns are there, usually lesser. They try to accept whatever I am, it's comfortable. And struggle for acceptance is there. This is the time when they fall into the groups. Like a girl who is academically brilliant tries to make a group with the girls who are academically brilliant because they want that acceptance. And who are goons or who bunk the classes, usually they move in the circle with similar children. So this is the time where you have to be alert that which group they are entering into. And dating may start at this age. One-to-one relationship, they may get interested and it may start. Sometimes sexual experimentation may start. Kissing, what is kissing? They just want that thrill. They are not serious about it, but just seek that thrill. And concepts become more clear. Usually in our academics, algebra, the probability and all that abstract concepts, they begin after 14-15 years. So it is a logical explanation of concrete thinking shifting to abstract thinking. Above 16, the growth starts slowing down. Sexual identity is consolidated, whether he is attracted to girl or boy, lesbianism, all these relationship issues, they are usually defined by this age. And there is idealism. If you are going to say truth, you are going to say true, no matter. The fight with the parents begins with this. They are just absolutists, that if truth is this, nothing can be other than this. They are not practical. And again the body image becomes very stable. They start accepting what they are, and independent but family based. Again the child who has shifted away from the family. I won't come in the function, I want to be alone, I want to be with my friends. After 16, usually they again appear in the family circle and they enjoy family get-togethers. And sometimes a real intimate relationships between girl and boy committed relationship may start at this age. Now understanding the neurobiology, why these changes are occurring and what other changes that during the adolescence a child passes through, why they are like that. Explaining this, just I would like to highlight that this process of neuronal development, This process of neuronal development, it is in the reverse order. Like myelination, it comes last. Limbic system development, the reward system development, the HPA axis, frontalization and myelination. Now for logical thinking and a very good cognition, we need these two, frontalization and myelination. This limbic system is associated with emotional sensitivity. So the center for emotional sensitivity is developed first. They are very sensitive, they are very emotional, but they don't know how to handle this emotional, how to give a good outlet to these emotions. So all the changes are mostly due to this. As I said, myelination, maturation and pruning. Pruning is a very important phenomenon whereby the tracts, the synapses which has developed, they resurfaces. Some of the tracts which are not used are just vanishes, and some of the tracts which are used, they get reinforced. So adolescent is the best time to learn new things. Whatever experiences, whatever situations they face, decision making, problem solving, all these situations, if they face during adolescence, those thinking links will develop into adulthood. So those children who are overprotected, over pampered in their adolescence, fail to learn this, fail to develop these pathways and tracks, and they grow up as a very inferior or very citizen with inferiority complex. Prefrontal lobes, as I said, it controls the emotions and judgment, and concrete thinking develops into abstract thinking. Now why they are vulnerable to all these psychosocial problems? Because as we have said, the neurobiology is still immature. They gain physical strength. A boy 18 years may be having the physical strength which nobody of us is having. So physical strength they gain, but they don't know how to handle that. And there are sexual changes, urges are there, but they don't find the safe outlet and easy or socially acceptable outlet. Peer pressures are peak at this age. What my friend is doing, I want to do. And medias. Nowadays the role of the medias has increased. Whatever they are showing, it is blindly accepted by the children and they want to imitate that. Whenever there is improper parenting or improper family environment, all these problems may increase. Risk-taking behaviors are those behaviors that can cause mortality, morbidity or social problems, and most of the risk-taking behaviors like rash driving, drunken driving, breaking of the glasses of the cars, all these are due to peer pressures. So you have to be aware what peer group they are into, what friend circle they are having. Psychosocial screening, coming to the heads part of this, we have learned that adolescence is the gateway to adulthood. 80% of the adolescents sail smoothly, they don't need any guidance, some here and there experiences, but they will sail smoothly to the adulthood. This 20% need help, and for this 20%, psychosocial screening is the key. That we can apply in our routine office practice also. It is given by the acronym HEADS. We have to just remember what topics we have to include in the proper history taking of the adolescent. It consists of home, education and occupation, eating, activities, depression or suicide, substance abuse, sexual health and safety. Coming one by one, home, you have to ask about the family members, relationship, to whom you are close, with whom you have the most troubles, and what is the way of disciplining. You can ask the parents also and the adolescent also. Then education and employment. How is he performing academically in the school? If there is some scholastic problem, when did it start? Is it acute or is it chronic? What is the ambition? What is his relationship with the teachers, with friends? How are they performing in the class? and if the child is doing, adolescent is doing some part-time job, what actually he is doing. Eating habits, how much home food, how much junk food, caffeine, tea, coffee, what is his body image, if he is very fat or very thin, so what he feels about himself, that is important. Activities, after school activities, hobbies, any sports, or how much time they spend on TV, internet, and how much sleep they are taking. All this helps us to get into his daily routine. And if there are any acute changes in the mood, it may be internalizing, like staying away from friends, just locking up in a room, not talking with the family members, or it may be externalizing, like very angry, very aggressive, very violent, both it can be, and both can be the sign of depression also. So it is necessary to take into these points, and whether it is continuous more than 2 weeks. This time gap is important because suddenly 1 or 2 days every adolescent may get disturbed due to some event, but if it continues more than 2 weeks, then it is significant. And whether sometimes he has tried to harm himself, this suicidal ideation. Substance abuse, taken alcohol, smoking, gutka, pan masala, and what his peers are doing. What is his attitude about smoking? If he reveals that my friend is smoking, so what is your attitude? What do you feel? And sexuality. And if we are thinking that we are in a country that is very spiritual and very safe, it is a misnomer, because our adolescents are also indulging into early sexual experimentation, and we need to take this history in detail, at least his views about such things. You can get an idea about what he will be doing in a couple of years. And safety. Any rules he has broken, any police case has been done, or any violent thing he has committed within the neighborhood, with which gang he is belonging, what his peer group is doing. So these are to be considered. And this is the recent clippings of the Times of India, that even in India this condition, this sexuality and early experimentation is rising. So we can take this as an opportunity to make them aware about the STDs, about the pregnancies, about HIV, and about use of contraceptive methods. Only one tool that we have to deal with most of the teen problems is effective communication. This one tool, you can convert those 20% who needs help into 5%. 15% we all pediatricians can help them out, talk with them, learn from them, see what their concerns are, and just give them information that this is the correct information. Mostly they will be helping themselves with this. But some challenges are there while dealing with teens. They want privacy. They won't allow you to peek into their life as easily as we think. They keep things to themselves, and they are most of the time confused. They themselves do not know that what are these feelings, how to express my feelings, and sometimes they don't get the right words to express these feelings, even if he is not feeling good or whatever. In 90s, probably we were very simple, and the kids now has grown up with so many gadgets and so many accessories. I'll tell you one example. Before 1 month, 18-year-old child, not child, I can tell as a male, he came to me, he came with his sister, and he has done very bad in 12th standard. He was depressed, not doing anything since last 8 months, and he said that he is having some personality problem. He has come to seek that advice for this. So gradually, after 1 to 2 sitting and performing some tools, taking some tool test, it was diagnosed that he is having depression. But I thought that depression is post this event. It won't be ongoing process since long. His performance has reduced since 8 to 9 standard. So I just simply told him that maybe we may need help of a psychiatrist also, because other symptoms which he was describing I was not comfortable with, and even I needed the help of psychiatrist. So, but we cannot just tell him that you need a psychiatrist. I told, you start with this, maybe next visit we will decide whether we want to go to psychiatrist or not. Next visit he came with a list of psychiatrists he has taken out from the website, psychiatrist in Rajkot, the addresses and everything, and he told me, you choose the person from this. So the kids are getting smart, they know everything. He searched about the drug also which I prescribed, and he said that these are the side effects of these drugs. So it is not so easy dealing with them. Barriers to communication. Why we cannot interact with them easily? Sometimes we feel like talking more than listening. They just want somebody to listen. Talking their parents are also doing at home. So they want somebody to listen. Just sit there, let them vomit out everything. Maybe that is only the therapy they need. External disturbances. When we are attending the teen, we don't need any phones, we don't need the staff members coming in and out inside the chamber. So some privacy should be maintained, and never use technical language in front of them. They feel you are a professional, you are a doctor, then they won't be comfortable. They should feel that you are like a friend. And being prejudiced. Smoking, you did smoking. You don't know your father is sending to this school, spending so much of money. Once you react like this, he won't come back again. He won't express anything more. And time constraint. See, whatever you want to tell me, I have 15 minutes, you just let me know in 15 minutes. We cannot do like this. And threatening. I'll tell your father, I'll tell your family members, you are doing these wrong things. This cannot be done. And jumping to conclusions. Because you don't want to go to school, you are giving this excuse. So we tend to do this in our routine practice, but we have to refrain from these type of things when we talk with a teenager. Now, how does this psychosocial screening helps in? This we all can do at our clinic, and the main purpose of this is health promotion. If he says daily he is going 1 hour for football or swimming, yes, very good, you are living a very healthy lifestyle. This way we can promote health. Disease prevention. If you know he is having some bad habits, it is a good opportunity to make him aware of the consequences of this habit and prevent the disease. Early diagnosis of physical and mental illness. He is depressed since 2 weeks, nobody is aware. We can just help him and we can guide him to come out of that. And as an anticipatory guidance, a girl 13-14 years who has just started menstruating comes that I feel very bad mood before the menstrual cycle. Explain that this is a common phenomenon, it is a premenstrual syndrome, it may continue throughout your life, there is nothing to worry about that, just a physical exercise and your positive attitude, you will be coming out of that. She is least concerned now. And relieving the stress and reassuring. Most of the time we don't have to do anything, we have to just explain to the parents that your child is normal, only your worry is a problem, and these things are going to be there till 2 to 3 years, and if he is not crossing the boundaries, be assured he is a normal child. So this we can at least do in our clinic. Role of a pediatrician is to diagnose abnormal vs normal behavior, and to see that adolescent doesn't need only the information. Smoking is not good for health. Only this information will not help him. He needs to develop the skills that even when your 5 friends are smoking, you are with those friends, they are your close friends, they are trying to force you into smoking. You can just say that you please smoke, you are my friends, but I don't want to get into this situation, and please don't force me, and pat yourself for that attitude. So this skill building, that in real situation when he is under pressure, how he has to keep himself safe, this skill building is more important, not only the information. And as Einstein has said that education is not just getting the information and facts but training of the mind. So we should train their minds that whenever a certain situation occurs, they can hold their stand and they can protect themselves. And adolescent friendly pediatrician, what are the characteristics? Genuine, open-minded, flexible for time, honest, empathetic, putting your leg into the child's leg. A child tells that I don't like this school because my parents has changed this school and I like the friends in the previous school. You cannot tell that you are so silly, you have to adjust. Once you say this, he won't be coming or expressing himself more to you. You have to be empathetic. Yes, I know how hard you would be feeling, how difficult you would be feeling, but we cannot do anything now. So what would you think? How can we continue in this school? How can you make new friends in this school? Let us devise some ideas. So if we go by this, then he will feel that yes, this person is understanding me and he will help me somehow. And ensure confidentiality. So these are the things adolescents want from us if we are ready to provide to them. I think I was precise, and whatever the gist of adolescence I wanted to communicate, I was to the point. Any questions or anything?